Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk. I'm your host Boise, and with the big announcement from Raw last night, let's see what SmackDown Live has to offer with Paige's announcement for AJ Styles' #1 contender, and with the SmackDown Live Tag Team Tournament underway. Here we go. This is SmackDown Live review. So we kicked off the show with Randy Orton pretty much stating why he has attacked Jeff Hardy, and he goes, I've seen the theories, I've read everything everyone has posted online, and none of you are close to what it is. And to be honest, I thought this was a really good promo. He literally digged into everyone who works in the company and people who don't work in the company, aka the Bullet Club. He just went, I never stole a sweet hand gesture, I never worked in bingo halls, I made my name here and I set the table which all these people are eating on. I've been here for 16 damn years. No one else who started at the same time is even here compared to me. I don't risk my life because hell, I know I'm too valuable for this. And he disrespected everyone and the WWE Universe, stating I was once named the Legend Killer, but actually you guys are the Legend Killers. You killed off legends and now I'm the last remaining true legend. Great promo from Randy Orton. It's good to see Randy Orton finally being allowed to be a heel. That's where he's most comfortable, and I think that's where the audience prefer to see him as well. He is a good babyface, but let's be honest, Randy Orton as a heel is a lot more entertaining. So I'm going to give this opening segment, because it was a standard heel promo, a 5 out of 10. Now we look at the first match of the night, and it was Andrade, Cien, Almas taking on Rusev, and this is yet another match where I would be like, how are they giving this away for free? It should be on a pay-per-view. And straight away I enjoyed every second of the match. The ending was a bit funny, but I can see where WWE are going with this. Andrade, Cien, Almas had a backstage little taffle with Rusev, stating he should be #1 contender. Rusev says I should be #1 contender because Aiden English interfered with the match and cost me the match. And obviously they had a match to settle their argument. Neither one became #1 contender, just to let you know, spoiler alert, neither of them did. But the match itself was fantastic. Rusev was dominant. Andrade was pulling off some fantastic moves. It was a really strong match. Then obviously Vega and Lana started to just so at the round the ring, Aiden English comes out, accidentally knocks Lana out because Vega jumps on his back, distracting Rusev from the match. Cien manages to pull off his finisher, knocks Rusev out. 1, 2, 3. It protects Rusev slightly because he was distracted, and it gives Andrade a massive win in his SmackDown Live career. But what a match. The ending, like I said, wasn't to what I would have preferred, but I can see where WWE are going with this. They are protecting both men, and it could lead to another feud match later on. So for me, I'm giving this a decent 6 out of 10. Our next match of the night was R-Truth versus Samoa Joe. This is like a rematch. This is like a revenge match for R-Truth. He's going out there to protect his friend Ty Dillinger, who got beaten by Samoa Joe. It's now Truth's turn to take on Joe. Joe won easily, but it was interesting. It's been the first time since R-Truth has had a match since WrestleMania, and second, I think R-Truth forgot the lyrics to his own opening, which I think Corey Graves even said, I think R-Truth forgot the lyrics. It was a good rap. It's good. It gets the fans invested in what's up rap. But it was very much a quick squash match for Samoa Joe, who, let's be honest, he is a badass, and it will show later on in the show. But for me, quick match. Good to see R-Truth back in the ring. It's been a while. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10, mainly because it shows how dominant Samoa Joe is. Next up, we had Asuka taking on Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce was in Billie Kay's corner, but again, it just feels like a really quick match for the sake of a quick match. Asuka won with very little effort. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce did try and help each other. It really had no effect to the match. I think they have to rebuild Asuka, and this is probably the best way to do it. But again, I don't know what they're going to do with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. They need to do something, aka a women's tag team division would be fantastic for them. But right now, the big job for SmackDown Live writers right now is to get Asuka back up to a credible level, and I think this is the right step. She did win, and she was very dominant throughout the match. So for me, even though it was a quick match, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It did what it needed to do. So yeah. Next up, we got a promo, and this was to reveal who AJ Styles' number 1 contender would be for the WWE title, and it was a good set of events. Paige cut a fantastic promo talking about the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, which she's really looking forward and hoping her SmackDown women do outshine the Raw women, which you want to hear from your general manager from one of her shows. And as well as that, AJ Styles cut a fantastic promo about the women WWE Evolution match as well, where he says, look, I've got a baby girl, and with this makes me even more proud to work for this company. I agree. I think AJ and Paige cut fantastic promos to talk about this, yet also building up the SummerSlam match itself. And AJ looks like, I'm ready for anyone, just tell me who it is, and let's get on with it. Then James Ellsworth music hits, and everyone's like, what, Ellsworth? Ellsworth's like, 4th time's the charm, and AJ's like, no one ever says that. Then Paige goes and him have a bit of a back and forward promo towards each other, him and Ellsworth, and Paige just pretty much fires Ellsworth on the spot for after disrespecting Paige and her, pretty much her authority on SmackDown Live. Thankfully, she kicks him backstage, kicks him out of the building, and while she's walking back, Samoa Joe attacks AJ Styles, signs the contract. Samoa Joe is number 1 contender for the WWE title. This is exactly the type of feud I do want to see AJ going into. I've seen AJ versus Samoa Joe at Ring of Honor and in Impact, and they've been really fantastic matches. I know both men have lost a little bit of a step, but I still think this match could be one of the best matches at SummerSlam. It's a great feud, and if WWE do it well, and if Samoa Joe gets the title, I think it would do something with the title which hasn't been done for some time. A legitimate badass holding the title. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a massive AJ Styles fan, but I think this right now is something the title does need, is someone like Samoa Joe to hold it, even if it's for a small period of time. But yes, fantastic. I'm looking forward to this match. Really good segment. Ellsworth getting fired as well is a bonus, so I'm going to give this a decent 6 out of 10. Next match we did get was a women's match where we saw Becky Lynch taking on Carmella. Now, if Becky Lynch did win, she would become number 1 contender for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. And guess what, guys? She won. It was quite an interesting match, to say the least. Carmella tried everything in the books to win. Corey Graves was stating that the referee was pretty much counting too slowly. For me, I think this was probably Carmella's best match she's had in some time. It was very much, very good heel tactics, but very, very different reactions from the crowd. Now, Becky Lynch's reactions from the crowd were massive cheers. Fans are very much behind Becky. I think she has to be now the face of the SmackDown Live Women's division as it is, because I think Asuka's been really damaged from the feud with Carmella, and I think with Charlotte being away injured, Becky has really risen to that stage. And Carmella entrance was empty. It was an empty reaction. No one really cared about her being the champion, and that just states something for me. I think this just shows that giving someone like Carmella, who wasn't yet really ready to hold the title, it just shows the differences between the two. The match itself, like I said, was Carmella's best match. She did dominate for a bit of it, but Becky Lynch managed to really sell her opponent, which was what you want to see. So for me, with all that in fact, with it being Carmella's best match, I'm still going to give it a 4 out of 10, but it was better than the Asuka versus Billie Kay match, which we got earlier on. Next up, we did get a first round match for the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament, and it was SAnitY versus New Day. Pretty much a decent match. You had Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf representing SAnitY, and for New Day you had Big E and Xavier Woods, with the Usos on commentating, with Kofi Kingston outside the ring and Eric Young. For me, too much of a quick match for me. You could see that, you could tell they could have had another 5-10 minutes. It would have been a really good, strong match, but I think because of the time restraints with having a, which I'll talk about later on, just took away from the match. Xavier Woods and Big E using the up, down, down move to get the win over Alexander Wolf, which does protect Killian Dane, because I think WWE are going to use him as a big guy, very strong, dominates force as a solo career sooner rather than later, I think, with SAnitY. But Eric Young tried to get involved in the match as well, but Kofi Kingston prevented him from taking any advantage from it, which was good. Again, the New Day are fantastic on commentating, which was what you want to see from them. And after the match, after New Day did get the win, the Bar did return. They cut a fantastic promo, had some awesome merch on, I've got to say. The Bar football shirt, I've got to say, if WWE sell that on the shop, I will buy that, because it looks fantastic. It actually looks better than the Leeds United shirt, which is quite a bit of disappointment for me as a fan. So I'll probably buy that. But yeah, very good. Great promo from them. Too quick of a match, but you can tell they needed to do a lot as well. So for me, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10, because everything which did happen outside the ring, inside the ring, and the promos after was entertaining, and it just added an extra layer to the tournament. It's just a shame that the matches were too short, for my liking. And this moves us on to the main event itself, and it was the pre-party for Miz and Mrs. And this all was going throughout the night. The Miz was technically the first part of the show, where he arrived in a limo with Maurice and baby Skylar Marie, I think that's what they call her. I don't know the Miz's child. I'm just going to say Little Miz. Pretty much all the way through the night they were going on about Miz and Mrs, because it's premiered last night, and it was fun. It was a good segment. The Miz really sold it all night. He had a baby carrier on him, so he was holding the baby. Him and Maurice showed a short clip of the show, which had been changed, just like last week, where the Miz's clips had been changed. This time, Daniel Bryan had changed the clips to all the Miz's mistakes in the ring and being beaten up by Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, the Miz being literally disrespected by Maurice as well over the years. It was quite funny. Then Daniel Bryan comes out, beats up the Miz's security. It looks like Daniel's about to finally get in. The Miz throws the baby. It's actually a doll. Daniel tries to catch it. The Miz kicks him in the face. Skull crushing finale. Cuts a fantastic promo against Daniel Bryan. Yet again, this rivalry is building up fantastic. Keeping him outside the ring and not allowing him to fight and doing stuff like this is really building up the feud fantastic for me. Really strong. Maurice was an extra factor. The Miz and Maurice really took off and helped the Miz's career. I could see her coming back for this feud. I think it would help as well. Very strong, brilliant way to use the feud and the new show in one. It didn't take anything away from the feud, and it built up a lot of people wanting to see Miz and Mrs, because I want to see it now. I want to see what it's about. So for me, I'm going to give this a solid 6 out of 10. Good main event kind of promo. It's not a match but it's a promo, so it gets a 6 out of 10. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live for this week. A lot of it was a very good show. It was very strong on the promos, which I think SmackDown Live needs sometimes. I think they need shows. The matches were quicker than you expected, so it did take away a little bit. They did take quite a big chunk of the show. I think it was about 10 minutes showing what happened on Raw the night before with the introduction to the first ever women's pay-per-view. For me, I don't mind that a little bit because it is a historic event, but it did take away quite a bit of time for the matches itself. Like I said, the tag team matches felt a little bit shorter than they needed to be. Becky Lynch becoming #1 contender makes the most sense. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, fantastic. It's really the feud I want to see right now. But yeah, good show, strong. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It just felt like a decent show this week, and it really builds onto SummerSlam. It feels like everything which is going on SmackDown Live has a purpose, has a reason for why it's doing it. So yeah, good show. What did you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Did you like this week's show? Did you think it wasn't as good as Raw? Tell me, leave it in the comments, guys. If you do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and press the bell so you can keep up to date with all our latest videos. And if you want to follow the channel, you can do at Smack Talk YouTube. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do. It's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.